So there's a world record that hasn't been broken in almost 2 years now, but there are 5 people that have come within a quarter of a second from it. And 2 of those 5 solves happened just this last weekend. And today I'm going to be doing something that I have never done here before on the channel, and what can I say? I mean, we're expanding. But I really do feel like I have to cover this because it's something that not a lot of people are talking about right now that's actually a super interesting race. All the way back in 2015, we saw maybe the most unexpected world record ever. I mean, yeah, it was Felix and anything can happen. But the story goes that on May 2nd, 2015, Haishin Yang from China broke the Rubik's Cube one-handed world record single with an 8.27. Then just 7 days later, Felix finally broke the sub-8 barrier and the sub-7 barrier in one solve. The world record for 3x3 two-handed single at the time was 5.25. That's only like 1.5 seconds faster. And in 2019, the solve became the longest standing world record in cubing history. But the wildest fact about this record is that if Max Park didn't exist, this world record that Felix got in 2015 wouldn't have been broken until 2022 when Antonio Cam got a 685. But yeah, I just wanted to start things off by saying that is probably the most ahead of its time record we have ever seen. But it's 2024 now and everybody's deciding to get 6s in one-handed. And this past weekend really showed us that we are at a breaking point. And it all started with Matty Inaba's 6.38, which placed him 4th in the world. Now, what really makes me think even more so that we are literally right there is the solve that was even faster than Matty's that also happened this weekend. But first, let me go ahead and break down Matty's solve, and it's something that I've never done here on the channel. I've never broken down an OH solve actually in a long-form video before, so that'll be very interesting to see, because this solve does have some pretty absurd luck in it. So just looking at the scramble initially, we can notice that our cross pieces are here, 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 and over here. And the first big thing that he notices on the scramble is that you can immediately make the square right here. And when you do that, this edge also solves itself. So immediately really, really nice for an X cross. But Matty actually ends up doing cross -1, which is basically where you solve 3 cross edges and leave the last one until you're further into F12. So how he does this is he basically he forms the block like this into the back, and then he'll solve this cross edge, and he actually tracks this parent inspection. So it's not that hard to see. It's just basically 2 moves set up into this, and now he'll just do this 2-gen in the front, and you can notice that whenever we do this, it actually takes out this edge. So now he rotates, and he'll just insert it with R and F moves, like so, and then he immediately sees these 2, so he rotates and solves these into the front left, like this. And then finally, he just has this blue-orange pair. And it's basically just the mirrored case of the last one. And then we can see that this is just going to be a, 6-move last layer? Because it's just the OLL with no AUF. And yeah, that's kind of the luck that you're going to need for a mid to low 6 on OH. PLL skip no AUF. This was done at 6 TPS though, so still decently fast. So that was the first 6 we saw this weekend, but then it got even wilder because remember the kid that got a 405, which was like, I think world record 10 a couple of months ago? Well, Radosław Marcinek is back at it again, wreaking havoc, but this time it's a 6.28 OH single. Just 0.08 away from Max's 6.2. And just so you know, this is what the top 4 looks like, so yeah, this record isn't going to stand for much longer at all. But let's look at Radosław's solve to see what kind of luck you even need to make something like this happen. And this solve is once again done on white cross, and we can see a similar theme here with the cross edges, of course, right here, 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 and down here. And we can see that this is a 2-move block. However, Radosław actually does not take advantage of this in the solve, and instead he just goes for a basic cross solution leading into the green-orange pair right here. So that's the one he's tracking in inspection, and he's basically going to start from this orientation with yellow on front, and he'll kind of do like a D move here to insert this first red edge into the cross. And now he's focusing on this one to insert. So what he does for that is he basically just rotates and then does like a wide D, and then you have this. You could see it as like a U move, I guess, or a U prime, whatever it is. And then for the next edge, what he has to do is basically he puts this one next to the orange center, because he knows if he does an R prime move like that, then he can insert the piece adjacent to these 2. And then finally, he just needs to insert the orange to finish off the cross. So no like crazy X cross here or anything like that. It's just pretty simple cross solution. into this first pair, and he does do a wide U prime to set up better into this pair, so he can just do a 2-gen into the front. There is a pretty nice pseudo slotting opportunity here with this pseudo pair because we have the corner and the edge inserted, but he probably just didn't see that in inspection, so he didn't really do anything with it. It's basically, this case is basically the same as this case on a regular F12 pair. So he probably would have like done a D move and then inserted into the back with 2-gen moves or something like that. But anyway, that's beside the point. What he actually ended up doing is the green-orange, and he does them into the front like so. And then for the next pair, you don't really have any great options here. I mean, you could have done these two, but then you get front slots and it's kind of odd. So what he ends up doing here is he does a D move, and then he inserts this edge with keyhole because you already have the corner in. So he did use the corner a little bit, but yeah, he basically just inserts that. And then we have a really bad pair here and a pretty decent pair here. So he ends up going for the red-green into the front like this, and you can notice that whenever you're inserting these two, you'll split up these two and it'll be a 3-mover here into the back. So now he just has this 3-move pair into the back, and now you can kind of see the blocks here, and I think he did notice in the solve that this was going to be a skip because I saw him put down the cube pretty quickly after this. So he just does back soon like so. And that skips PLO with no AUF again, same as Matty. So both the solves PLO skips with no AUF, and he did this one at 6 TPS as well. And you know, back soon PLO skip, maybe that's something you need in your life sometimes. So we now have 4 people with a sub 6.3, and if I were to guess out of any record in the WCA right now, which one is going to be broken next, it's definitely 3x3 one-handed world record single. What we've seen with the amount of people just getting absolutely absurd times in this category is it's really nothing like the 3x3 world record single with 2 hands, right? Because I could see like a couple of people getting a sub 3 maybe that have potential to do so, but I feel like the sub 6.2 is so much more attainable and it's such a more reasonable goal. I'm seriously extremely surprised that we haven't seen a 5 yet, so my big prediction is that when this record is broken again, it's going to be a way bigger drop than we think. I'm thinking like sub 5.7 and like possibly even sub 5.5. We've seen multiple people get 4s on camera. We've even seen like full step 5s, I think, at this point. So the time for this record is really, it's been coming for a very, very long time. So yeah, I'm surprised that more people haven't been talking about this race in the past couple of months, but it's getting really, really interesting right now. Also, looking back at all of this has really made me realize just how cracked Felix was back in the day. Like, if you really sit down and think about this solve, this shouldn't even be physically possible. He literally did this on the How Long version 1. This cube did not have magnets. But anyway, yeah, it's also one of the only events that I don't really see the 6-year-olds getting their hands on anytime in the future. Never say never. But guess what? That doesn't stop them from being marginally faster than you at the regular Rubik's Cube with both hands. So, yeah, that's you know, your daily reminder to, yeah, there's a video here that you might want to watch. If you're not subscribed for some reason, I don't know why you're not subscribed. If you're watching this far into the video, you know, I can't blame you. I've done that with other YouTubers before. I just watch their entire video. It's like 5 hours long and I just don't subscribe. I'm sorry. But, yeah, just want to talk about that a little bit. And, besides that, that's about it. See ya.